Hello and welcome to the Career Change Studio. This is the place to design and create a new working life so that you can live the way that you want and need in your next chapter. I'm Dana Stevens, certified career change coach, and I'm here to help you work out your next career move. I'm going to inspire you to think about this transition in brand new ways so that you can think differently about yourself and what's possible for you. You'll also learn how to build up your belief and self-confidence so that you can finally start taking action. This is about so much more than just getting another job. This is about changing the way you live your life for the better. Hello, how are you? So today we're going to talk about something that might make you feel uncomfortable, because we're going to be talking about discomfort and how it can actually be something that you can welcome and that can really help you when you're thinking of changing careers. You might be thinking, what are you talking about? I don't want to feel uncomfortable. That's something I avoid. And that's exactly what we're going to get into today. I promise you I'm going to do my best to get you to think differently about discomfort by the end of this podcast. So stay with me. If you're feeling stuck in your career and your working life feels monotonous, or you just know that you really need to make a change in the way you're living and working, this usually means contemplating some sort of change, making sure that you're going to be trying or doing something new. And whenever we start thinking about change or doing something new, typically our brain starts to panic. In its most primitive programming, our brain always favours familiarity. When it only has to deal with what is known, it can use thoughts and responses and actions that it's done before. So that means using low amounts of effort. And our brain is programmed to prefer low effort, efficiency, not expending energy if it doesn't have to. So the way our brains have evolved to help us survive, at a kind of basic level, change has the potential to mean there could be danger. So just in case, our brain will tend to want to keep doing what we usually do to prevent danger, in inverted commas. The reality is that while that might have been helpful to us when we were primitive humans, maybe changing where you hunt or leaving the cave might have equated to real danger, for us today in the modern world, especially if we're talking about making changes to your career, the reality is that the risk of actual danger is incredibly low, like physical danger to our bodies. And yet sometimes our physical reaction to even the idea of change is as if we're going to be eaten by that saber-toothed tiger. We might get a physiological response, quickened heartbeat, sweating, feeling like we need to go into fight or flight mode. So this is when we have to rationalise with ourselves. Am I really in any physical danger? Or is it that I'm actually facing discomfort? Trying something new or unfamiliar where I might not know what to expect or what to do. I might be a beginner at something and have to learn new things. I might not be good at something straight away. I actually might be bad at something to start with, all of which might make me feel uncomfortable. But this is the key to ask yourself, is it actually danger that I'm facing or discomfort? Danger or discomfort? Again, in the modern world, typically we're facing discomfort or even just the idea of potential discomfort. And here's where I want to make a case for seeing discomfort as a positive thing, as a constructive thing when you're making changes in your life or when you're thinking of making changes in your life. I came up with this concept of intentional discomfort. This is when you make a conscious decision to enter into discomfort because ultimately it's going to be useful to you. It will be valuable to you in the long term. You have more to gain from the discomfort. Most of the discomfort that you're worrying about when you're thinking of changing careers are things you're probably trying to lean away from. So I would really encourage you to lean into them intentionally, on purpose, and you'll find that some of these things are really going to help you grow skill sets, grow your capacity, grow your confidence. I want you to think of it a bit like weightlifting. It's where you're deliberately and intentionally putting your body under a certain amount of stress. Now, controlled stress, mind you, but stress, and lifting those weights, while it might feel hard to do in the moment, typically it's not painful and it's not dangerous. but it can certainly feel uncomfortable. And yet the more that you can experience that discomfort, maybe even try and experience a little bit more and more of it each time, build it up, you're going to start to grow your capacity, your ability to cope with it. You build up more muscles. And if you push yourself even more, willingly and intentionally taking on more and more of that discomfort each time, you continue to grow. You continue to develop those muscles. And the thing about intentional discomfort is that it's productive. It produces results. And when you can notice and acknowledge the growth that comes from it, then the more motivated you're going to be to keep going, keep trying, keep engaging in that intentional discomfort. So let's think about how this works from a career change point of view. Because although you may feel uncomfortable at times, it really will be nowhere near as uncomfortable as staying stuck. Staying where you are in a job that you hate or that doesn't work for you is going to be way more uncomfortable in the long term than the discomfort you're going to feel when you're making changes. And when you decide to start making changes, you can recognize that intentional discomfort is going to be something you're entering into willingly because it's going to create the outcome that you want. And it can be really useful to recognize this, that the intentional discomfort is going to be temporary. You will only be experiencing discomfort for a short period of time and it will pass, right? It's a feeling or a series of feelings, physical sensations you're going to have in your body, and they will pass through. For example, if you're feeling confused or overwhelmed or frustrated or unsure, these are physical sensations, temporary sensations that you will feel in your body, and they will pass. And they might be uncomfortable, but they are not dangerous. You don't have to fear them. You can, of course, learn mindset tools to help you manage them and work through them and process them even quicker. And that's what I do work with some of my clients on. But ultimately, remembering that they are temporary can be freeing. And then we can really focus on what we're going to gain from passing through the discomfort, right? What is on the other side of it and why it's ultimately worth it. For example, if you start asking yourself questions about what you want to do next and you don't know the answers yet, some people can really freeze, shy away from that discomfort, push it down, try and deal with it later, next month, next year. And before you know it, you've been stuck even longer and you're here 2-3 years later without having moved forward. But if instead you embrace the discomfort of not knowing, the discomfort of confusion, knowing it's only temporary, you can then focus on getting clearer, focus on figuring it out, sifting through what you do already know, finding new ways to unlock the new things you want to find out, investigating what it is that you actually want more of in your life, coming up with some answers so you can finally make a plan and move towards it. That knowledge, that honesty, that clearer direction is going to be so worth it. And let's say you identify maybe a potential opportunity or career path. You might be thinking, well, how do I know if it's right for me? And you might decide you want to try it, find out more, go on a course, do some work experience, maybe put yourself out there to talk to people in the industry. Now, if you're not willing to go through the discomfort, you might veer away from doing any of those things. You might miss the opportunity for that knowledge because you might be worried about feeling awkward or uncomfortable. But it's only by being willing to be a beginner, by being willing to ask questions, by being willing to not know the answers, that we can discover what we need to. It's about being willing to be uncomfortable. So I want to urge you not to avoid it, not to veer away from it, because then you might just miss out on your opportunity to learn or grow or discover new things that could put you on a path to a new working life that's a wonderful fit for how you now want or need to live and work. And you get to feel so proud of yourself that you committed to undergoing this process for yourself to create a better and more fulfilling life for you in the long term. There's a confidence that sits on the other side of passing through discomfort in order to get the answers that you need, in order to grow in ways that you haven't done before. It will be 100% worth it. So you don't need to fear discomfort, and try and avoid it. You can embrace it as something useful. That's it for this week. Bye for now. And if you want to start making changes to your working life, come and talk to me. You can book a free consultation with me where we'll talk about your personal situation, what's really holding you back, and what you can do differently to start making changes. I'll let you know what type of career change coaching is going to help you, and you can ask me any questions about your personal situation or about my proven process, the Life First Career Method, a method that helps people like you change your career so that you can change your life. Just visit my website, danastevens.com. That's DANASTEVENS.com, and click on the link to book a consultation. Or you can find the link in the show notes. If you've enjoyed this podcast, make sure you get your weekly fix of inspiration and career change guidance by clicking follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you'd like to rate and review the podcast, that would really help me get this in front of people who also might be feeling stuck and lost, so I'd really appreciate your help. And if you know anyone, friends, family, even colleagues, who might be thinking about changing careers, please do share this podcast with them. You might just be the person that helps them change their lives for the better.